Well, everybody, Happy New Year to most of you. Hello, everyone over there on Facebook and everyone here on YouTube. I'm trying to simulcast this live here on the first day of January 2020. So, again, I was saying um, hello. I don't know. Yeah. I was saying I'm getting confused looking at both places here. So I'm really talking to the people here on YouTube, but I'm going to try my best to give my attention back and forth to the group. So just to let you all know that I am also talking to my Facebook group here. The Facebook group the Facebook group is Magic, Mysticism, Metaphysics, and More. And so that's my group. And I don't do a whole lot of lives in the group. It's really just posting information, not necessarily mine, but whomever wants to post their information. However, moving forward in 2020, you guys, I'm going to concentrate on doing more lives and do more teachings. And my purpose is to gear toward doing the majority of the teachings in my Facebook group, and then that way, and then monetize the Facebook group, and then that way I don't have to worry about all that other stuff. I will moving forward for you to monetize my videos here, so the trainings and the teachings and the herbology and all of that other stuff that I do. You can get it on Facebook. And then I also have a website. My website is mamasunfiyah.com. MAMASUNFIYAHH.com. And I am going to begin to do more blogging. And this is not a New Year's resolution. This is just what I have been thinking about and trying to get started on doing. Let me turn that light off. That light is bothering me. Isn't it bothering you? It's bothering me. Hold on a minute. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Got my house dress on and my little mismatched socks. Okay, anyway. So, what I'm going to do is begin to do more teachings. I think that's where I left off. And I'm going to monetize them so that those of you who are interested in my services, you can do so, and then you can be a part of the group and just get, for a small fee, you can get a lot of the things that I do for free in the group. So the group is monetized, but everything I offer you will be free in the group. Okay, so unless there's products involved. And so anyway, so I entitled this, what did I say? Herbs for Money, Prosperity, Formulation, and Consideration. So you can't see my table here, you guys, but on my table I have probably every herb that you can think of that people use for drawing money or for abundance or prosperity. And since I had so much, and this is my personal stuff that I've accumulated or I've grown myself or bartered or exchanged with someone. I have bought products online, but I only buy the organic online herbs from online. Everything else is organic from whomever's yard or garden, from my own, or that I've wild harvested and foraged for. Okay. So what I did was I made a composite or a complete list. Here it is, guy. A composite or a complete list. That's page 1. This is page 2 of the herbs that you will be using or that you can use. You know what? I'm thinking about doing this on a different live platform. I don't know. Anyway, so I want to keep this live to 15 minutes, even though I'm sure it would be longer. It's probably worth an hour, and this is definitely an hour class, 1 hour class that I'm giving for free. I just figured, since I just wanted to do this, and so hopefully I can get this done by, well, 30 minutes is what I'm hoping to do. Hello, whoever that is over on Facebook, on YouTube. And so as we move on, so I have um, 2 pages of herbs that I've compiled that people have used in various um, paths for, hello, how are you, in various paths for money drawing, for abundance, for prosperity, and things of that nature, for luck and things of that nature. Now, the way I have it written here, I have it divided into masculine and feminine, and this is just giving you a look at how I formulate my herbs for medical purposes and for spiritual or magical purposes. So I have them listed, all of the herbs listed that are good for magic, good spiritually, medicinally, magically, for money drawing and prosperity. So I have a total of, let's see, 18, was it 22 different herbs. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, 20. Yeah, 22. 20, had to count. Look, 22 different herbs. So I have them divided into masculine. I have 14 masculine herbs considered to be a masculine herb, and then 8 masculine, and 8 feminine herbs. Okay, and that's these right here. Okay, so that's the first thing. When you're wanting to do your formulations, you wanting to, let me just say this. When I do my formulations, I try to balance them with the masculine and feminine energy, the yin and the yang, divine principles of male and female, and or push and pull, whatever, hot and cold, wherever you are on your path and whatever you find to be your duality. That is how I do that, because the purpose for me to do this is to create a balanced formulation. And so that is important. Or even if it is not completely balanced, like meaning same and same, it has a purpose for the way it is formulated. Okay, so the way this would be formulated, if I used all of the herbs, all of the 22 herbs that I have listed here, 14 male and 8 female, it would be male heavy, right? It would be male dominant. It would be very fiery. It would be very hot. It would be very fast, right? And then it would be very nurturing and loving and calming and balancing to all that fire energy. But when you do that and you use a formulation that's heavy masculine dominant or heavy fiery, you're going to have to be able to balance the other elements. The other elements that I'm talking about will be the earth, the water, and the air. Okay, so now I've already told you here in this formulation that you're going to include, or you can include, or I include, let's say, I include the balance between male and female, the push and pull, the yin and the yang. I balance between the elements. And in balancing in the elements, I balance in the directions. Okay? So now I got all of that. I hope you guys got that. Hey, Patricia. I hope you got all of that. So again, let's just quickly, you want to balance between the aspects of the divine feminine, masculine, okay, or the push and the pull, right? You want that balance there, right? So the highs and the lows, you want it to be able to be balanced harmoniously, okay? Then you want to be able to make sure that you include all of the elements in your mixture. Now, in herbology, we're taught when you do formulations that you have a primary herb that you use for the base or the foundation of your formulation. That's your primary herb, and that's what you're going to is going to hold the entire formulation together. Then you have your transitory herb. That's the herb that's going to you have your assisting herbs. That means you have herbs that's going to assist the primary herb. So there you go with your balance, right? And so thirdly, you want to have your transitory herbs. That means that transitory set of herbs is what's going to drive these two principles you have into the body or into the formulation the way it needs to be driven, right? So it transports these energies into your body, right? So now I know that's kind of difficult. A lot of people think about, well, I'm just gonna put this together, put that together, and it works out. Spirit tells them what to do. They formulate it, it works. That's fine. But I actually premeditate and I actually think about the formulations that I'm going to make. And there is a intentional formulation of the herbs. Okay. So now here, let's just talk. We're at 10 minutes so far. So let me just share with you what herbs you can use, known and unknown herbs and spices for money drawing, prosperity, abundance, success, that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to name, I'm going to start with the masculine herbs, not because there's anything, just because it's in my face. Okay, so we have orange, honeysuckle, high john, basil, cinnamon, cloves, ginger, nutmeg, hey Christy, lemongrass, peppermint, rosemary, bamboo, chamomile, and allspice. Okay. On the female side, I have written down goldenrod, cannabis. Yes, I said cannabis. Cannabis. Okay. Corn silk, moringa, alfalfa, spirulina or Irish moss. You want something from the waters. So spirulina, patchouli. Now I would have thought that patchouli was a masculine herb because it's so musky and heavy and grounding, but it makes sense because it's grounding. That is considered a feminine herb or female herb. And then the last one is camellia. I forgot some. Let's see. I said cardamom. Cardamom can be used. Now we can use it with money drawing because it's an accompanying or transitory or it's an accompanying or an assisting kind of spice or plant, and so you can use it in a money formulation. Now I'm gonna put a pin in that. Hey Kaylin, I'm gonna put a pin in that, and I want to just share this part. For those of you who cannot afford to have all of these herbs and buy all of this stuff, there are plenty of options for you. If you're not a forager, the easiest thing to do, Facebook, the easiest thing to do, YouTube, is to buy seasonings, okay? So if you're going to do a money drawing powder, which is really what I'm formulating here, a money drawing powder, you can use pumpkin seed spice, pumpkin seasoning or pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice has ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, allspice, some of them, or cloves. So you have all of what you need for a money drawing powder to use to dress your candles, to use to burn. I usually make little discs for mine. I'm gonna see if I can find a disc. I don't even see it. Oh yeah, I'll show you these. Sometimes I take powders and then I formulate them, or I roll them out and I make little discs. What are you talking about today? So I make these. Out of my powder. Hey Kaylin, I'm talking about the how to create money formulations and the significance of the various kinds of herbs used for money drawing, for prosperity. So this is the beginning of the year because it's January. It's the beginning of the year. For most folks, for me, my beginning starts in the spring, around after March, but for most people, they're into the new year. So, so for drawing money, you want your money to manifest. The purpose of this now is because you want your money to manifest by the time spring comes, right? Some of us, of course, need money right now, and that's good. But this is a formulation specifically geared toward manifesting long-term financial stability. Okay, so, and that's the reason why I included what I did in this. Okay, so now what I want to do, let's see what time we have. 15 minutes, so I got 15 more minutes. Okay, so what I wanted to do is go ahead and tell you what each herb means. Okay, so it's wise for you if you are a formulator, if you make teas, tonics, tinctures, lotions, potions, brews, whatever you do, it is important that you get your tools, your books to study from, to read from, to refer. I prefer books as opposed to the internet, but you can use, we do have the internet too. One of the good books to use, and I have it here, I use it, is almost like my Bible. I have two books. But one of the books I use is Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So there you go. I do use this book. I have probably about 30 other books. I have like 200 and some odd books in my reference library. So, but I do like that book. I don't always agree with what is said in this book. However, I cross reference, and that's, if you're a forager or if you're herbal formulator or whatever, it's always good to cross reference. Okay, and so my other book I have is Planetary Herbology. This book I absolutely love. You see, it is my Bible, and I color in my books. So I actually study my books. So I write in them, and that kind of stuff. So those two books are great. And so when I need a reference and when I'm not sure of, I go to my books, and I need something very tangible. So let's go ahead and get into what I have. Let's start with what I have the most of. I have them, again, the herbs separated in masculine and feminine, right? I have 14 masculine herbs here that can be used for prosperity, money, and drawing. And I have 8 feminine herbs that can be used for the same thing. Okay, so now I have orange. I put in the formulation orange peels, right? We know that the orange peel is the protective layer of the orange fruit, right? The fruit is inside. And this particular orange, now this is methodical. I did this for a reason. I use an organic orange. I use an organic orange. I both zested the skin and I use the skin with the pith. My rationale was, not only do I want the essence and the zest of the skin, I also want the other protective amniotic layer of the skin that protects the fruit. So that's my rationale for that, is to protect my abundance, or the fruit of my, what I would call the fruit of my womb. So that is why I included that. But I also included orange leaves because of the medicinal value of the leaf from the orange tree. So now I have in just the orange alone, I have used 3 aspects of the orange in this formulation. Now, the purpose of the orange is, one, we know it's sweet, right? Sweet. So we want to incorporate sweet. Oh, let me just, before I even get that far, we want to incorporate sweetness. I'll say that we want to incorporate the sweetness of life. Oranges represent the, like sun. It's a fiery, that kind of thing. But before I get started, you guys, please, if you're going to do any kind of formulation, this is what you really need to do before you get started. First of all, you need to cleanse yourself, right? I have some Palo Santo water. I usually cleanse my hands. I spray myself. I cleanse myself, right? And then I go back and I sweeten myself with something. So I smoke cigars, or I'll drink something to sweeten, right? So, or to imbue. That's the first thing. The second thing is, before you do your formulations, sirs and ma'am, you want to make sure that you understand what your intention, what is your intention? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And once you determine that, then you can narrow down what kind of herbs you want to use. Okay, so having said that, alrighty. Now, blah, 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 blah. Oh, two. There's another one. Before you do your formulation, you want to make sure that if you're doing your formulation for yourself or for another person, that there are no blockages that would hinder your receiving the money that you're trying to draw. Okay? So, having said that, a lot of times when you create your formulation, you want to add into the formulation a blockbuster or a road opener, right? Because we talked about the levels of herbs, your primary herb or your basic herb, your assisting herb, and your transitory herb, right? So you want to make sure that if there's any hindrance that you have within yourself as the formulator or the recipient of the formulation, if there's any hindrance within yourself, if there's any stagnant energy that will prevent you from receiving what is your heart's desire, then you want to build that into your formulation. You want to cleanse yourself, and then you want to build something into the formulation using herbs that is going to clear out that clutter, that's going to bust down those blockages, and is going to open the road for you to be able to receive it. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense when you do your formulation. So I'm not even going to start with orange. Even though I gave you the orange, what you want to do is make sure that you got something fiery going, and that you got something what I would call antioxidant, right? So before I do anything, one of the herbs that I use for an antiseptic, antibacterial, cleanse all, get the hell out of here, blah, 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 whatever is hindering me is thyme. I got it written on here. It's thyme. I use thyme, right? Use thyme to cleanse. The other one I use, and most people do not use this, I use Moringa Seeds. Moringa Seeds will clear you straight out, right? Mind, body, and spirit. So it will clear, purge you completely. And then you want a fiery kind of herb, so that's a ginger. So I start off with those from the mindset of I want to break away everything, clear everything, get everything out of the way, knock down walls, hindrances, blah, 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 purge out all old thoughts, mindsets, and anything like that, right? So just keep that in mind. You can use any fiery herb coupled with an herb that is going to be like a diuretic or be like a laxative kind of things. And Moringa seed is definitely a laxative. It's going to snatch everything out your system. Okay, so you start off with those things. All right. So now and then. So let's see. Okay, now I can go back to the orange. So you got orange peels. We said that. The next one is in the masculine, under the fiery column in fire, is the High John the Conqueror. High John the Conqueror, if anyone knows anything about doing formulations and using hoodoo and root work, High John the Conqueror root is a powerful, powerful herb and is used all the time in root work in root work and hoodoo. You need High John the Conqueror. Here's why. Because High John the Conqueror is a root that is used for money, success, and power. Okay, and High John the Conqueror brings about a sense of happiness, right? That's what it's used for. And so you want to add High John the Conqueror into your formulation first off, because the whole intention of your formulation is to draw money for success, for power, and all of that kind of stuff. And power does not necessarily mean anything wrong. Power means being able to balance or control that thing that you have power over. It doesn't have power over you, right? And if you're looking for power specifically, then there's another set of herbs that I would use just for I need power, right? Okay, so High John the Conqueror is your base foundation, y'all. Okay, High John the Conqueror. And so with that High John the Conqueror, it comes in a hard root, or if you can find it out, you take it, you grind it up into a powder, right? So we're going to do powders. And here I already have powder, right? So you grind it up into a powder. I used a grinder. Ain't no way in the world I was going to be able to do the mortar and pestle, the thing. Okay, so High John the Conqueror is what you want in there. So we got High John the Conqueror. The next thing, the most important aside from High John the Conqueror, is cinnamon. Cinnamon is a sweet kind of spice, right? You want the spice of life. You want the sweetness of life. Cinnamon has been used for centuries all over the world for various, reasons, for cleansing, purification, for adding heat. Cinnamon is definitely fire. So if you think about what I said about formulations, you want fire right off. Fire is representative of the east. The sun rises in the east. The first experience to the day is the east, from the east. So you want to call in the energies from the east, right? And you want it to come in and take precedence and residence in your formulation. So I call for, this is going to be another part. I'm trying not to do it. But you, in your formulation, what gets so excited? So what you do is, the reason why I'm saying this, you set up your formulation according to masculine and feminine. You set it up based on fire, air, water, what's the other? Air, fire, water, air, earth, and that's it, 4 elements. Then you also want to be able to, so I put a undiluted solution in. I'm gonna read it over here, Kaylin. So you want to create that balance of the elements, and with those elements are the cardinal directions. So you want to call in that direction, right? All right, so call in from that direction. I need money to come from the north, south, east, and west, right? So here you're putting in your formulation that call for assistance from all of my ancestors from all over. Come in like a flood, if you want to use it. Come in like a fiery furnace, or come in like a sweeping fire, and bring in to me what it is that I'm looking for. Now, firstly, when you start off with fire, anything that is not, that doesn't need to be there, will be leveled and gotten rid of, okay? So you come in with fire. Fire is from the east, and fire also represents, or the east also represents the spring. Well, the spring is the newness of life, right? It's in its infancy. So the first thing you want in your formulation is at the beginning, in its infancy, to come in like a firestorm, right? Because you need that money to come in fast, right? So that's why you do that. That's why I do that, okay? So now we got cinnamon, we have cloves, right? So remember I told you, in pumpkin spice, you have cinnamon, clove, ginger, cardamom, right? For the most part. Sometimes some people put allspice, but you have that in there. So if you want to use pumpkin spice, this is where you're going to get all of your fire spices right there. Now, if you're using pumpkin seasoning or pumpkin spice, I normally add other things to it, because I get the idea of using a transitory and assisting herbs, right? So I don't want it all fire, right? I need some balance to it, okay? I need it to last. I don't want it to burn up, come in fast and go out fast, right? So that's what you're going to get. So what you want to do is to balance it. You want it to come in fast. You want it to stay a long time, and you don't want it to fizzle out. You want it to gracefully hold its flame, right? Okay. So now, we got cloves. Clove is to draw money, for success, and cloves drive away negativity. So you remember I told you, if you think of your body as an extension of your environment, as an extension of your body, right? So your immune system is how your body fights off invaders and keeps your body functioning the way it should. So you want to build the immune system of your formulation. So not only will you clear out things that no longer serve you, you're going to create a barrier between what is no longer serving you from being able to get back in. And with that, you also want to build up your immune system, your spiritual body, and your formulation, so that it can fight off any mindsets, any of your old stinking thinking, or if anybody else is throwing tricks at you. You want it to be your immune system, the immune system in your formulation, to be strong and powerful. So what I'm telling you is, these herbs that are strong and powerful, you want them in your formulation. Okay, so now we have the clove. Is going to drive away, is going to keep negativity away. It has that fire element, is masculine, and it also helps to purify, right? Okay, the next one is ginger. Ginger is hot. It is a fire also in the masculine side, but it also helps to bring in the fiery love, that kind of thing. So I built into this a little love, right? Because I didn't want it all to be I didn't want it all to be carnal or harsh. I needed some love. I needed to temper it with love. You understand how you formulate? So you want to temper it with love. So I added the aspect of the ginger to temper it with love, but ginger does also bring success, money, and power, right? So, and let's see, nutmeg. Did I say nutmeg? I keep forgetting to put nutmeg. Nutmeg is in pumpkin spice, y'all. Nutmeg is in pumpkin spice. I have nutmeg whole and I have nutmeg ground, and I take my whole nutmeg and grind it up. It's better than buying from the store, but if you got to buy it ground, pre-ground, do your thing. Okay, so nutmeg, fire again, masculine again, love, money, success, health, okay, and prosperity. So you want your formulation not only to include happiness, peace, stability, comfort, but you want to be able to enjoy your shit when you get it, right? So this is the rationale. So you want health, because that is part of your prosperity, is your health. What good will it be for you to get the money that you need and be too damn sick to work with it, right? Too damn sick to appreciate it. Or it's going to go to your medical bills because you're too damn sick to take care of yourself. Whatever. So I wanted to build in like an escape clause or a loophole. Just in case some shit pop off, then I got this covered here. So now, nutmeg, ginger, cinnamon, basil. I'm going to go back to basil. Basil is fire. Basil is masculine. Basil also brings in wealth and protection. So you want that immune system to protect your work and to protect your money as it flows in, right? Okay. So basil, you can use culinary basil or sweet basil. I grow sweet basil. I also grow holy basil. For me, if I want to make a formulation that's strong, I would use holy basil. Okay. But if you do not have holy basil, sweet basil will work. Culinary basil is fine. Right? Holy basil is an adaptogen, is going to deal with stress in the body and whatever stressors that would be placed on your financial situation is going to deal that and bring it to balance. So I would prefer holy basil or tulsi, but you can use sweet basil or culinary basil. Okay. So now the next one is, let's go to honeysuckle. Okay, so most people don't think honeysuckle is masculine, but honeysuckle is a masculine, it's considered to be a masculine herb. And it is, now if you think about honeysuckles, when we were little kids, you just go out and there'd be a whole bank, a wall of honeysuckle vine, and then these beautiful little yellow and white flowers are hanging off of them, and they are sweet, right? So the implications of that, think about it. First of all, honeysuckles are attractive. They smell good. You want your money to find you. You want to create a scent and an aroma where your money is, I know she around here somewhere, right? I can smell her, right? You put that smell into the atmosphere and you say, hey, money, come to me, right? Finances and abundance, come to me. Here I am, sitting here all pretty on this wall right here, smelling good, looking good, and I need you to come on right over here. And so now, one of the aspects about the one of the aspects about the honeysuckle is, y'all listen, this one right here, it grows, it's an invasive plant. It's gonna grow over everything. You want your money to come and overtake you like a flood. The Bible talks about when the enemy comes in like a flood, God will be the standard, right? But when you want your money to come in, you want it to come in, right, and be everywhere. You want it to be everywhere. I want my money to come from all kind of places, all over here. Just overtake me. Just whatever's growing right here, it don't make no, whatever situation is going on, whatever problem I'm having, it don't even matter, because my honeysuckle right here is going to overshadow all of that, and I'm going to have what I need, more than enough, more in abundantly, right? Okay, so we got the honeysuckle. Honeysuckle, again, is sweet smelling. It brings in money, protection, good luck, and all that kind of good stuff. And it also, remember I told you that it also has that energy of entanglement, or it's invasive. So that's what you want in there. And then honeysuckle also, remember I talked about the assisting herb. If you're going to have cinnamon, and I would put a honeysuckle, because honeysuckle and cinnamon go together, right? So it's sweetness. They go together, right? So they support one another, honeysuckle and cinnamon. And then the other one that goes along with that one is alfalfa. Alfalfa. Let's see if I can find it. I don't see it. I have alfalfa somewhere. But you want alfalfa in it because alfalfa is very nutritive, is very strong, is very powerful, right? It has a lot of chlorophyll. It has some chlorophyll in it, but it has enough that it supports this fiery exchange, this sweet exchange, because alfalfa has a little bit of a tingly, bittery taste. So you want the bitter and the sweet together to work together, right? So it's going to stimulate, right? All of the things that's in your body that's not for your highest and greatest good, that alfalfa is going to stimulate your liver so that you'll detox that, and then it's going to bring in the sweetness. So it has a purpose, right? So you marry those together, cinnamon, alfalfa, and honeysuckle, if you're going to use honeysuckle, right? So now we got that. The next one is cinnamon, lemongrass. Okay, I grow lemongrass. It smells fantastic. All right. Lemongrass is easy to grow, and it grows very thick, right? So here we are using the aspect of lemongrass to say, I need this shit to come in fast, and I need it to be thick, right? My rent due, my mortgage is due, my money is due. Somebody send me my money. Give me my money. I need to come in all in one bunch. I don't need you to piecemeal me my damn money. Give me all my money. Thank you very much. So lemongrass is very aromatic, it's very fragrant, and it does that same kind of thing as the honeysuckle does, as far as it being aromatic and being that signal or beacon to say, come over here, right? So also lemongrass does another thing. It clears the air, right? It naturally clears and disperse, detoxifies stagnant energy, right? So those things are important in your formulation, and it also gets rid of crossed or hexes or jinxes or tricks that have been thrown. Is great for that. So if you're having an issue with not receiving your money, or your money is held up, and you think that it may be because of the works of someone else, or that you jinxed your own damn self by the decisions you make, lemongrass works fantastic. Now, along with lemongrass, I would couple these two together. Lemongrass and peppermint is fantastic if you're going to do money drawing, if you're dealing with issues, right? If you're dealing with issues, peppermint is fantastic. Let me tell you why. Peppermint can run bugs away, can run vermin and rodents away. You put you some peppermint down, right? So I have used a peppermint spray, a peppermint-based spray for ants forever. Kills ants right off. You can take a peppermint spray, spray it down, and wherever you spray it, won't no bugs be there, right? So peppermint has a way of dispersing, getting rid of, or creating a barrier between two things, right? So that peppermint is going to work fantastic together with the lemongrass if you want to be able to excuse me, not insert you, to create a circle around your formulation. So this is how you build into your formulation a circle. Whatever is in the circle is protected from whatever is without. So you want your formulation to be protected. So you are building that into your formulation. So all of these things take it. It's really where you have to think it through. However you want to create your formulation. Again, you don't want to just throw things together willy nilly. You got to really do your research and figure out how you want your formulation to come out and how you want to support it, right? Because you are the creator, and so you create well, right? So now we've gotten down to rosemary. Remember, we're in the masculine herbs, and I'm dealing mostly with fire. Honeysuckle was earth, and I didn't tell you that. Honeysuckle is earth, is not fire. Okay, so now we're at rosemary. Rosemary is for protection. I use rosemary for protection in dreams. If you're having night terrors or nightmares, I do rosemary. So rosemary is good for protection, and rosemary is fragrant too. So if you're thinking about what I'm saying here, your lemongrass, your peppermint, your rosemary, your honeysuckle, that rosemary is going to give balance to the sweet smell too. It's going to be a little heavier. If you understand how to do formulations with essential oils, you got your base note, your middle note, and your top note is going to be part of what you want to carry. It's going to support your lemongrass. And it's going to support it everywhere. Your peppermint and your rosemary are more like eucalyptus kinds of scents and smells, minty. So you're going to get your lemongrass, but you're also going to get that little long-lasting mint. So you want your formulation to last, right? And you want that protection to last in your formulation for the duration. You don't want your protection to leave out of your formulation, and then there go your money. Your money ain't protected no more. You say, what happened? Oh, dang, I got my money, but it's gone. I burnt it up, right? It burnt a hole in your pocket. So you want it to be able to stand or to last. So that's why you're going to add that. So I think I've gotten orange, honeysuckle, hi Johnson, bamboo. Now, most people don't rock with bamboo. Most people don't use bamboo, right? I love me some bamboo, okay? Y'all stop playing. Here's a small jar of bamboo, right? I got a big bag of it upstairs. I didn't show you guys this. Here's my peppermint. Here's my orange peels. My orange leaves, right? I got clove, thyme, alfalfa sitting here. And then I have essential oils. Here's some orange peels that's left. Okay, so what happens with bamboo? Most people understand bamboo to be Asian or something like that, but bamboo grows everywhere. Here's the thing about it. Lord have mercy. This damn bamboo is everywhere. Bamboo is used generally in Asian cultures for good luck. You'll see them burning in the little Asian store. I mean, not burning. You see them sitting there in the Asian stores. It's a good luck. It draws luck. Right? So you can use it for gambling. Remember, I am including 22 herbs that people use for prosperity, luck, drawing money and all this kind of stuff. So I'm including all of that. But bamboo also is great for drawing money. That's why you see bamboo in restaurants next to the Buddhas, and you see them in the nail salons. And in the stores, it's for drawing money and it's for customers, right? To draw customers in, right? Okay, so now here is a fantastic aspect of bamboo most people don't know. Bamboo grows uncontrollably. Okay, so what happens is, bamboo is this long, grows into this long stalk. The stalk of bamboo is very strong and sturdy. It goes straight to the universe, right? It goes straight to the stars, straight to the heavens, right? It stands up tall and strong. Well, underneath the ground, the roots spread out. That's why it's hard. Once you get bamboo in your yard, it's hard to get rid of it because the little stems or the rhizomes, I don't know, I think it's the rhizomes, I don't think it's the roots. I think that under the ground, the stems under the ground sprout. And so as the stems under the ground grow, everywhere there is a place it shoots up another stalk. So you get under the ground base, grounding work happening in the unseen realm, infiltrating through, things that are compacted and bursting through the atmosphere, bursting through the ground into the atmosphere and swoosh up in the air, right? Bamboo, again, is very strong and very sturdy. It's very hard and it's very versatile. You can use bamboo to build a house. I saw it on YouTube somewhere. This person used it to build a house. You're going to build by using bamboo. Specifically, you're going to build strength in your money. Make your money strong, right? Not trickle in, but strong and hardy. So that's why, bamboo is a good one to include, and most people don't include that. Chamomile is another one. Chamomile is fantastic for money drawing. Chamomile is a showy flower. It says, hello, here I am. It's a cone flower, right? It's very showy. Chamomile does carry the water aspect, not the fire, but it is a sun plant, right? So it gives you that protection. It gives you that growth. It gives you that energy, right? So you're creating momentum in your formulation because you know these things or you learn these things about your plant, and it's an intentional way of creating your formulation, right? So chamomile has the ability to attract money, to draw it to you, right? A lot of people use chamomile to rest, right? So you want not only for it to come in, you want it to stay long and be happy where it's at, right? You don't want it to go nowhere, okay? So, and chamomile also combat curses. So now you've gotten chamomile to combat curses, and it's part of that immunity in your formulation, okay? So that's what we have. The last one, and I think I already said it, was allspice. Allspice is fiery and masculine. Allspice is going to come in from the east and is going to create that whoosh flame, right? And it's going to attract money, it's going to attract luck, and it's also good for healing. So that's what you got. Now, let's see my minute. Oh Lord, 46 seconds. 46 minutes. I already knew it was going to be about that long. Okay, so now we got all of that. So now you got your fire element, you got your earth element, you got your air. This is what next one we're looking for is air, and then we're working in the feminine. So in the feminine, I have these 8 herbs. Goldenrod. Goldenrod I'm using for a specific reason. Goldenrod blooms in the fall. About the fall. These beautiful yellow flowers. Here you go. These beautiful yellow flowers pop up everywhere. I work in a farm on a farm with someone, and 11 acres, and there was 11 acres of yellow flowers. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to add goldenrod to a money drawing formulation, because of its abundance. It's the same way with honeysuckle, and it's the same way with bamboo, because it gives you the air or the energy of abundance. And so abundantly over the field, you would see that goldenrod glistening and glowing like a sea of gold. So you see where I'm going with that? That is intentional how you're creating in your formulation. So goldenrod itself brings in the attract money, and it also is great for divination. Okay, so now if you want to divine if there is a hindrance or a block or where that is, you can use goldenrod for that hindrance and blocking your money, right? So you use it for that kind of insight and psychic awareness, right? Okay, so now the next one, and here's a heavy hitter, and it's in the female column, okay? I didn't say goldenrod is air, okay? So we got fire, we got our air. Cannabis sativa, okay? Cannabis sativa. It has been used for centuries. Cannabis is used ceremonial and ritualistically, right? And it's also used to draw money. Now, if you think about in the modern time, what cannabis represents. Cannabis represents money. People have been selling weed forever. People have been making money on weed. You need your weed. You need the abundance that this herb brings, monetary abundance that it brings. Also, people are using cannabis sativa in its form of hemp extract or CBD, right? Money making cash cow plant, herbal plant. So what you're doing is adding that aspect to your formulation. Yes, cannabis can work in your formulation. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And so again, cannabis, if you think about the ritualistic part of it, it elevates. You want to be able to elevate it. That's why it has that air. It has earth and it's air. It's kind of, for me, it's dual. I saw somewhere where it said earth and somewhere it said air. But I use both of them, both aspects, because it touches the ground. And so all plants, even though their major sign or their major power or elemental support is earth, is fire or air or water, if it's a plant that is on the ground, it's still going to have an aspect of earth to it. So it's going to bring that balance. So cannabis is fantastic for money drawing rituals. You can smoke your cannabis if you're a smoker and use it as part of your ritual as you formulate your money drawing herbs, or you can include a little bit into your formulation. Okay. So now the next one is, most people don't know this, but the reason why I'm adding cannabis is because it speaks to the indigenous nature that my ancestry is, right? So part of my ancestry is not only from West Africa, but another part of my ancestry is indigenous to North America, from the Choctaw Cherokee nations. Okay, so having said that, we know that cannabis is had been used by the indigenous here forever and everywhere else, right? So I'm adding from my own signature into this formulation by adding cannabis. And then the next thing that I'm adding to is corn, maize, right? We know that's indigenous too. So I'm building into an herbal formulation for drawing money aspects of myself, right? Some people call it your ori, some whatever, but I'm putting in my ancestry, right, into my formulation. So now corn, if you think about how versatile corn is, then you want to be able to add corn to your formulation. You can add it in forms of the kernels, which are the seeds, right? So there's corn seed or corn kernel magic people use. It's used in that way. I'm using the silk. That's the little hair part on the corn, the little hair, the corn silk. Corn silk is a diuretic, so it's going to release or cause to release any fluids or things that would build up a dam within me that's going to keep me from receiving what I need. And corn, if you think about what a cornfield looks like, y'all pass by driving in the country and seen all that damn corn. That's money, okay? And it's beautiful. All fields of corn everywhere on both sides. When I'm at the farm, it's both sides of the road is corn. And so I'm adding corn for the aspect of finance, money, abundance, giving a little yellow. So I'm going to deal right here because I got a lot of yellow in this. So I'm going to deal right in the solar plexus. Right, that's why it's so fiery. What I have, I'm gonna deal with that solar plexus, and the lower chakras is heavy in lower chakra and your sacral chakra, and all this other kind of. This formulation is heavy. So if there's a hindrance or blockage within that area that's going to keep you from receiving what you need in your base, in the base of who you are, then it's going to address that. Right. So this formulation is very, very complex. Right. If you're going to use all of these herbs. Now this is a lot of herbs. And so once you do your formulation, you determine if you want abundance, if you want prosperity, if you want luck with like in gambling or investments or whatever you want. You can weed out what you don't want or what you don't need or what resonates with you, you keep, right? And what resonates with you, you keep. So now corn is part of it. Again, harvest, abundance, corn, right? And next one I added, another aspect of me, I just said it, was moringa. Moringa is Asian, Indian, and is also African. You can find Moringa in Africa. I have Moringa Seeds. Moringa Seeds. You can see them here. And I also have Moringa Leaf because I work with a certified Moringa grower. I actually have organic Moringa that's grown locally, right? So now, building into that African ancestry, right? And so I have, I burnt my arm. I have indigenous and I have my African ancestry built into this formulation if I'm going, use that. So you keep that in mind as you build your formulation. If you're doing it for yourself, then build in who you are into your formulation. Okay, so now I have the Moringa Seed. The Moringa Seed, as I said before, I started off as the base of the what was it? Road opener, blockbuster, because Moringa Seed will clean you out. Your entire intestinal tract will clear you out. Okay, and then Moringa is a superfood. So the leaves, the entire plant is edible, right? The stalk, the roots, the leaves, the drumsticks that come on it, that grow on it, where the seeds are in it, all of that is, and the seeds itself are, the entire plant is edible, right? So it's a superfood. So you get the majority of your nutritional value from the leaves. And so Moringa then becomes this powerful base, supportive, money drawing, balancing aspect of your money drawing formulation. Okay, so it's great. And for me, again, it's great for protection. It's anti-inflammatory, it's anti-viral, antifungal. It helps with stress. It does cancer, all this kind of stuff that the claims that are made, I can't say it does all this stuff, but there are claims and researches and studies that are done on the medicinal value and health benefits of Moringa. Do your work, but it's for balance. So it's bringing, the leaves are going to bring balance to this entire formulation if I'm going to use 22 herbs, if I am. Okay, so next one I did already is alfalfa. We're still in the female column. Alfalfa is a blockbuster again. It helps to deal with poverty and deficit, right? So you use the alfalfa. Remember I said in conjunction with cinnamon, which is bringing in money, and you use it in conjunction with honeysuckle, bringing the sweetness of life. It deals with poverty issues, and it prevents poverty, and it helps to bring in prosperity, money, and all that kind of stuff. And then, again, it's the earth, so it's balanced. It's foundational. Next one is spirulina. Spirulina is in the female column. Spirulina is also a water, has a water power, right? So alfalfa is earth, moringa is earth, corn is earth, and goldenrod is air. So now we're down here. Spirulina is water. Spirulina is a blue-green algae, right? So it's a water plant, okay? And so we got the aspect of water, and we're incorporating blue and green. So if you think about your formulation, we have red, fire, we have yellow for the solar plexus, we have aspects of orange and red. Fire, you got orange, red, yellow, and we have blue-green algae, which is going to not only deal with your entire nutritional system in your formulation and in your body, but it's also going to be very nurturing, very, 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 is going to encapsulate and to love on and to say, you know what, this is a fantastic formulation. If I do say so myself. And it's just going to love on all of the herbs that's in there, and it's going to be a support for them, all of the herbs that's in your formulation. So I would add some spirulina. Now keep in mind, spirulina is very, very green. And so you get it powdery on your hands anyway, it's going to be everywhere, just like activated charcoal will be everywhere. But spirulina is fantastic in money drawing works. Spirulina is in abundance, and people grow spirulina. There are spirulina farms and stuff. But you can find algae, right? And let's see. Oh, Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, so when I was in a health food store, there were a couple of things that we added that we use. We use when people are dealing with deficiencies in iron and having issues with their iron and maintaining their level of blood. We use Spirulina, Chlorella. What was the other one? Spirulina, Chlorella. It seemed like I'm missing one. Oh, or basically chlorophyll. Okay, so because of the blue-green algae, right, that spirulina is, it has a lot of chlorophyll. You need chlorophyll. It's going to cleanse your blood. It's going to deodorize your stinking ass and your stinking thinking, right? It's going to clear out all of the issues that you may have. It's going to build up your body. It's going to create a barrier because it's going to make your system strong, right? So you want that aspect of the spirulina to be in there. In your money because of the color and because of what it does for the body. And if it's going to do it for your body, it's going to do it for the body of your formulation. It's going to do it for your entire environment because this all is an extension of self. Okay, so that spirulina does that. It rebuilds, restores, renews, revitalizes. It gives you energy for people who are tired all the time. You know, it's kind of like a chlorophyll is like the blood of the plant. So it's going to deal with issues of the blood, right? Okay, I'm coming on down. It's almost time to go. I am a minute and so over. Patchouli is an earth, has the aspect of the earth. Patchouli, if y'all smell patchouli, is very musky, very strong, very earthy. You want that balance, okay, of the earth. And so it's great for prosperity. It's great for drawing money. It's great, again, for grounding. And you always would like to put, most people put patchouli, no, it's somewhere around here. Put patchouli in their wallet so that it can draw money, or in your cash register. A little piece of patchouli. You can do patchouli essential oils. And I got that around here too somewhere. Patchouli essential oil. So it's very strong. Patchouli works great with citrus. Citrus elevates patchouli, takes it off the ground a little bit, and gives it it gives it a airier, I think that's the word I want to say, a lighter feel. So, but patchouli is very strong, so it's going to work great with lemongrass, and it's going to work great with orange. Okay, so it's going to bring about that balance because your orange and your lemongrass and all the citrus is going to go pew really fast. And so you want something to hold that in place, right? So you need that balance. Patchouli is that balance and it's great for growing business. It's great for startups and that kind of thing. So you want that base thing foundation to be in play in your formulation. The last thing, ding, 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 ding. Most of y'all don't even know that you got this growing in your yard. But if you're from the South like I am, it is definitely in your yard in the spring and in the summer, right? Everywhere I turn, this flowery bush is all over the street. The flowers are everywhere. It is a camellia. Camellia. Camellia has been used in money drawing in the South forever. Right? You can go outside and get these dark, the leaves are dark green and the flowers are bright pink, bright a hot pink. Some of them are white, some of them are soft pink, but you want camellias. Now I'm rolling this down. Let me show you what I got. I don't know if it's turned the right way, but this says Camellia wild harvested, right? So what you want to do, Camellia carries the aspect of water. Camellia Japioca. It's the other word. Camellia japonica, something like that. That's the name of it. Anyway, that camellia is the Japanese camellia. It grows everywhere, all over the South, right? You can get camellia, but camellia is a relative of the true tea plant. The tea plant is Camellia sinensis. I can't pronounce stuff, y'all. I can't pronounce it. But it's sinensis. Sinesis or something. But anyway, that's your tea plant, right? It is a true tea plant. This is where you get your black tea, your green tea, a camellia, right? So this camellia is related to that camellia, the green tea. So in your formulation, if you want to build into money, you can use green tea. You can use matcha. That's on the high end. Wow. Right? Or you can use simple camellias. Camellia oil is used in skincare. Camellia oil is used in money drawing, in root work, in hoodoo. Camellia. So you want camellia because it grows abundantly around and is great for prosperity. So here are the flowers that I put some over there. See there. See, here's the flowers that I dried. I have a whole bag full of these, so you can see them. So this is a camellia. You can use it. You can use it to create an oil for skincare. But camellia is going to bring in luxury, honey. That's what it's for. Camellias are everywhere. They're always fresh cut. It brings in the energy of luxury, of abundance, honey. Yes, and riches. So if that's what you're looking for in your drawing money, that is your desire and your intention when you create this, then that is what you want, the camellia. Okay. So now that's everything. I got 4 more minutes. The last thing is, so as I said to you before, when you build in your formulation, you want something for earth, water, fire, air, wind. You want your 4 elements. You want your 4 directions because you're calling in to you from these places, right? And so what I usually do is not only do I really call in, it's what I do. I call to me and I call from me, and for what's in me and what's external of me to meet and agree, right? This is why I always ask aspects of who I am into my formulation, because earth speaks to the earth, right? The air in me speaks to the air external. The water in me speaks to the water external. The fire in me speaks to the fire external. And then we get together and we agree on this work that we want to happen. So here I have 9 fiery elements in the formulation if I'm going to use all 22 of them. Right? There are 9 formulation. It is spring heavy, it's fire heavy, it's masculine heavy, and is going to bring in like a storm, like a firestorm, what you're looking for, right? Early, okay? But if it comes in early and fast, it go out fast. So you're going to need balance for it. So the next thing you'll find in this, if it's got the masculine, you got your masculine and your feminine. The masculine part of it is that I have about 14 herbs out of all of these herbs that are masculine. So it's very male dominant, very male heavy. If you think of what I'm saying, I need this, you strong, it's a strong one, but you want to balance it. So even though there are 8 of these 22 herbs that are for money, drawing, abundance, 8 of them are feminine. Of those 8, there are about 3 of them that are superfoods, right? So it gives you that balance. You got this extra strength, this extra nurture, this extra this balance to all of this male energy that's going to be in that is carried in all of these herbs, right? So then with that, you have 9 of them. And so coming in from the east, coming up in the spring, in its infancy, you have it fiery in the beginning. Then you go into your earth. Your earth is your direction from the south. So you got your east, you got your south. So coming from the south, 4 herbs are for the youth. This is a cycle. So you're creating a complete formulation in cycle. Summer, winter, fall, a complete cycle. You want this to last, right? A year long. You don't want your money just coming in fast and then burn up before you get anything done and accomplished. Okay, so you want the summer. The summer is from the south. The summer is youth, right? So it has time to develop. You want this to develop and to be strong. So then you cruise on into your water and all your plants that have the aspect of water. And there's about 4 of them of the 22 that I've been talking about. And those will bring in the fall, right? So there is a cycle to your money. You know, money is currency and it flows, but it's cyclical. It cycles through, right? So you want it to come in its infancy, stay to its youth, and then you find it in the fall, in the adult aspect of this money drawing or this money that you're looking, you want it to be grown. You need some grown ass money up and through here to take care of your grown ass responsibilities, and you need it to stay there. It is matured, right? It is maturing, right? It's becoming stable. And then in that stability, as a life cycle of anything, you go into its eldership or into its senior place. And in your senior place, you what? You relax, you rest. You want it to be well rested, well formulated, well balanced. But in your senior time, that usually it begins to dissipate or a lull, right? But even in that lull, there's 4 herbs that are in the 22 herbs that we have here that's going to create that gentle, mature, stable kind of energy in your formulation. It brings up in the north, right? Your eldership is from the north. If we're using a medicine wheel, if we're using the indigenous medicine wheel, this is where it's coming from. Then it's going to bring in the north, and it's going to bring in the winter. So in the winter, you want your money to be in place. In the fall, you want your money to be in place. In the spring and the summer, you want your money to be in place. And in the spring, you want it to be in place, right? You want it to continue in its full life cycle as it flows through your life. You want it to be strong and to see all of its life cycles, right? You don't want it to be deficient in any kind of way. So these are the things that you want to keep in mind when you're building a formulation. You nowhere near have to use all of these herbs in order to build a money formulation, but just think about what it is that you want to do, what you're trying to convey, what your intentions are, and then you build in that manner. So what I have done here is, after all of that is put together, right? After all of that is done, and after I have done all of the herbal formulations, I do one thing. I'm trying to reach it without dropping it. Hold on just a minute. Bankyard dirt. Bankyard dirt. Okay, now I'm creating a powder. Okay, this powder is going to be rubbed on candles, money candles. This powder can be used to rub on your hands, add it with some oil, exfoliate, right? Because you want to touch your money, right. You want to be able to use it in a packet, in a gree bag or a mojo bag. You want to be able to put it in little amulets and whatever and wear it around your neck. Bankyard dirt. Now, what's significant about this bankyard dirt? I didn't just go to the bank and just grab up some dirt. You could. It's all an intention. This bankyard dirt was gathered from 7 different financial institutions at 12 o'clock on a full moon. So me and my best friend rode like the wind to 7 within that, starting at 12, I had from 12 to 1 to gather all the dirt that I could from 7 banks. And we did it. It took a minute, but we did it. So this was gathered again on the full moon, 12 o'clock. And so it came from 7 locations, all financial institutions of one way, shape, or form. Banks, credit unions, a financial services place in here. And you take this dirt once you have gotten all the herbs that you've decided that you want to use. And if you're going to do it in a powder, this is if you're using it in powder form. You take your your bank dirt and you add it to the formulation. Why? Because wherever you pick up something, it has the energy of that space. We need to be banking some damn money. I need money to come up in here. I need it to circulate, but I need to come up here and sit up in my account for a little minute, right? I need to be able to use that resource, and I need to be able to use the earth because it is grounding. So out of everything that I've made sure that I had grounding. I had where it comes in air, so I had earth, I had all the elements, and this bank dirt adds the pièce de résistance to you, to your money drawing, your financial, your prosperity, blah 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 blah. That. And so here's the dirt, and it smells good, y'all. I wish you could smell it. Okay, now that's what you add. It smells like dirt. It smells strong. It's brown. It's dark dirt. Now, what you can do, if you like your formulation, you can add essential oils. Bergamot is fantastic to add. Bergamot draws money. So if you want to add plant essences in the form, liquid plant essences in the form of essential oils, bergamot, sweet orange, okay, those are your citruses, patchouli, that's going to give you your balance. And scent your dirts if you want to, or your powders if you want to scent it, and so it will stay. If you find that it dissipates, you can use oils, but you don't want to make it muddy. Okay, so just add your essential oils to it. Create a synergy of orange, bergamot, and patchouli, and this will be a fantastic aromatic and balanced formulation. All right, you got it? As 1 hour and 15 minutes of free teaching and training and class from Mama Sunfire. So you guys be blessed. Thank you for staying with me so long. I appreciate you. This is new for me. This is the first day of January 2020. And so I want to do these more often, but I'm a grandmama of 4 and I got a whole lot of other shit to do, and I got clients and stuff. So, but if you're looking to have a class, if you want to take a class, if you want me to mentor, if you want some information or advice, anything like that, feel free to get in contact with me. I can leave all my information in the comments area. And you can Cash App me, you can PayPal me or whatever, but I do take one-on-one mentorships. If you want, I do classes too, bigger classes, and social media and seminars and stuff like that. So anyway, without further ado, you guys, thank you so much again. I appreciate you. Be blessed. Smooches. Bye-bye. I don't even know how to turn this off yet. So what do? Turn this one off, and then how you turn this one off? Am I done? I guess. Bye, y'all. What? I don't know how to turn it off. Is it off?